and welcome to Youth Connect. I'm Aiden.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Joshua.
I'm Nabrad.
I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. If you're new to the show or you're tuning in once again, welcome to Youth Connect. I hope you're excited. We got tons of interesting stuff to learn and for you to discover. But the first things first, the first thing we have to do is our gaming news. We always have to start off with our video game of the week, which is basically me spotlighting a game that I think that you should check out. And today's game of the week is quite a good one because it is a long series and it is Just Dance, but now it's 2022. The interesting thing for me and Just Dance is that Just Dance will always say 2021 or 2022, even though that it's actually 2021 this year. They're releasing it for 2022. They always do a year ahead. So I don't know. It's a really interesting marketing ploy. I don't know. But Just Dance 2022 is the same old rhythm game that you've been playing for years, or if you're brand new to it, then your very first dancing game. And this year's version comes with 40 new songs, a host of new universes, and some truly transformative choreography. There are so many new hits, best tracks, coolest universes, and most intense dances. One that I actually saw in the trailer was a very popular song, and it is the standout Mr. Blue Sky by Electric Light Orchestra, which features an incredible visual journey through the trees in a stop-motion animation style. The Mr. Blue Sky choreography is simple but fun, and as the camera moves to follow your character, you feel like you're soaring through your living room. It is quite amazing to see that the details and the animations and just they could make a simple game about you dancing with the person, but they make it interesting to dance. And obviously for 2021 and 2020, all of the old songs from the previous versions will be available for 2022. So if you want to get into the groove and you want to dance with family, or if you want to have a good old dance workout, you should definitely check this game out. Anyways, though, next up we have Kevin, and Kevin has with us some Halton news as well as culture.
Hello, everyone. This is Kevin Aruja with your weekly segment on news, culture, and interesting fact. You are live with You Connect Halton. Let's go to some local news. The city is preparing for the pandemic to carry on for many more months. On November 24th, the city of Burlington announced it had approved amendments to the temporary mask bylaw and physical distancing bylaw to extend both to June 30th, 2022. Both bylaws were set to expire on December 31st, 2021. Mayor Marianne Mead Ward said the opportunity exists for the bylaws to be lifted sooner. We have many great strides and progress that these past few months, and I'm grateful to all of our residents for doing all that you can. Although there is a light at the end of a tunnel, we're not out of a pandemic yet, and our temporary mask and physical distancing bylaw remain some of the best tools we have, combined with high vaccination rates to ensure this pandemic ends. Other changes include the removal community center from the physical distancing requirement in the physical distancing bylaw, and as those requirements are regulated under the provincial legislation. Council has the ability to pass a motion at any time to revoke these bylaws. The expiry date of June 30th can be repealed in March should COVID-19 conditions be favorable and the province lift its mask mandate. The CIBC Thursday at November 25th announced a new details and timing updates for the new CIBC Costco Mastercard. In just a few months, the big bank will become the exclusive credit card issuer for Costco in Canada. It's going to be launching in March 2022. The card will offer strong new features and benefit for members, including more cashback, new insurance coverage, and flexible payment plans. CIBC stated in their statement, Our top priority is to provide an innovative credit card offering that expands the value that Costco members receive, many of whom are new to our bank. We are looking forward to welcoming these members to CIBC with a card that offers richer rewards such as enhanced cashback features, novel insurance coverage, and the flexibility for paying for large purchases at Costco at special lower rates, said Diane Theory. It's a senior vice president card product at CIBC. In early March 2022, existing eligible Costco Mastercard co-brand credit card accounts will automatically be moved to CIBC, and cardholders will start earning the new cashback benefit and receiving the other features from CIBC at this time. CIBC said cardholders can continue to use their existing Costco co-brand credit cards until the new card from CIBC arrives before August 31st, 2022. Existing card credit limits and merchant pre-authorized payments will also remain the same. Halton's rules that require a non-medical face mask in certain settings have been extended for the third time. During its November 24th meeting, Regional Council voted in favor of keeping the mask bylaw in effect until April 30th, 2022. A 4-month extension for the previously set expiry date of December 31st, the regulations, which was first adopted in July 2020, requires that everyone aged 5 and up wear a non-medical mask or face covering in enclosed public spaces. There are several exceptions to the rule, including for people with underlying health conditions that inhibit their ability to wear a mask. An amending bylaw adopted by council said requiring masks is a necessary recognized, particularly an effective method to limit the spread of COVID-19, and thereby help protect the health, safety, and well-being of the Halton region community. A report from Halton Corporate Counsel Bob Grace said staff will continue to monitor public health guidance and recommendations from the provincial government and report back to council in the spring if any further amendments to the law bylaw are advised. In Today in Culture, we are speaking of the Nutcracker. The Nutcracker is a ballet by Pyotr Tchaikovsky. The story of the Nutcracker is loosely based on the E.T.A. Hoffmann fantasy story. The Nutcracker and the Mouse King is Christmas Eve, a time when dreams come true, and the Cyberhawes family are holding their annual Christmas party. Presents are exchanged, and among the many gifts Clara received is a nutcracker from her magical godfather, Herr Drosselmeyer. The guests dance, and the children play, and when the party is over, Clara goes to bed and begins to dream of an adventure. In her dream, the Nutcracker fights a battle with mice and transports Clara and her brother Fritz on a sleigh through the land of snow to the land of sweets. In the land of sweets, they meet the Sugar Plum Fairy and her prince, as well as dancers from faraway places. The ballet closes as Clara wakes up in her living room with her Nutcracker, treasuring her wonderful dream. Selections from the Nutcracker was first performed as an orchestral suite in March 1892. The ballet proper debuted in December of that year. Despite the failure of its initial performance, the Nutcracker has become the most frequently performed of all ballet and has served as an introduction to classical music for many young people. Because the first act is set at a Christmas party, the ballet is often presented at Christmas time. For those of you who are interested, the Nutcracker is playing at the Oakville Center for Performing Arts on Saturday, November 27th at 2 o'clock p.m. and 7:30 p.m., and on Sunday, November 28th at 1 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Now for some little known facts about the Nutcracker. The Nutcracker premiered in St. Petersburg on 18 December 1892. St. Petersburg society was not impressed though. They thought the dancing was mediocre and there were too many children on stage. The little fellow that we know as a Nutcracker isn't actually Russian. He is German. Originally made in the German town Sefton, Miners out of work turned to wood carving around 1700 and the Nutcrackers flourished. Many of us know the heroine as Clara. However, she is known as Mary, Masha, and Mary Shan, depending on where you see it. The Nutcracker season extended anywhere from October to January, depending on when your company happens to perform it. That interesting bell sounds that you hear in the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy is quite unique. Tchaikovsky used a celesta to create it. A celesta is like a piano, but has metal plates instead. It's time to say goodbye to Fantasy World and go over to gaming over to Aiden.
I must say that I love the Nutcracker. You know what? We usually have a tradition where we always watch it. But you know what? Obviously, due to COVID restrictions, we might not do it this year, but we could always do it next year. If you guys ever have the time, do check out the Nutcracker because it's a really good play, and it is hosted by an amazing person. For your second gaming news, if you guys know, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl just released recently. And the interesting factor is that a speedrunner has already figured out how to get through the game in well under an hour. His secret? Apparently he says that they're so broken. The YouTuber Worcester has completed Shining Pearl in 50 minutes and 36 seconds, which is bonkers, given the game is supposed to run about 30 hours. Worcester explains in his listing the glitches used to achieve the time, which is still glitches from the original. So is Nintendo giving speedrunners a classic, or did they literally just take the original base game and just like ported it over? Who knows? It could be a secret, it could be a Easter egg, but some of them include menu storage. If you're a speedrunner or somebody who likes glitches like myself, you'll know that he did cutscene clipping, out of bounds, surfing on land. Early Elite Four, he did all of the sorts. And he adds that the run was far from perfect, although he does credit himself with what is believed to be the first playthrough to come in under an hour. But of course, since he did it in under an hour and he was the first to do it under an hour, there are always going to be other people who are going to try to do it even faster. You know what? I bet you we're gonna see 2 minutes. They can do the cutscene title screen, and then they can clip to the end of the game. You never know. That's why I love it so much. Anyways, though, next up we have Joshua, and Joshua has with us a good news story, and of course.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Youth Connect. Now for a good news story. Teen runner helps competitor finish race after he collapsed. In the sport of track and field, athletes compete not only with one another but against themselves. And with each race, they strive to achieve a new personal best. Running in what would likely be his final cross-country race before graduating high school, one Nebraska runner's personal best turned out to be showing the biggest heart instead of setting the fastest time. Brendan Shute from Bellevue East Senior High School knew that if his running time was good enough that day, he still had the potential to qualify for the upcoming state competition. Blake Kernavy, a sophomore from Omaha Burke High School, was aiming to beat his own personal record, and after a fast start, he continued to push himself hard. With less than 400 meters to go, Blake's legs cramped up and failed him. Determined to finish, Blake rose from the ground and continued on, only to fall again after another 150 meters and then going down after another 25 meters. The young runner pulled himself up and moved forward for one final push. With 100 meters from the finish line, he lay curled on the ground. Unfortunately, his legs had simply given out. From out of nowhere, Brendan Shute came and was at his side to offer a helping hand. With Brendan supporting and helping Blake maintain balance, the two completed the 75 meters of the race together. Brendan Shute even made sure the injured runner crossed the finish line first, which gave his opponent a faster time. This is the first time I've ever seen an athlete stop his race and work so hard to help his fellow competitor across the finish line, said Jay Slagey, the citizen journalist who first broke the story on his blog. In today's competitive world, in which the emphasis in athletics is so often put on breaking records, it was inspiring to see that for an athlete like Brandon Shute, the valley of true sportsmanship still had legs. Turning to animal interest news, Kim Cardinal and her husband were trapped by raging floodwaters at her home in Spence's Bridge, a tiny community that sits at the merging of two rivers near Kamloops, British Columbia. The couple had no cell service. They felt it was the end for them, as well as the stranded RCMP Mountie, who was on his way home when the highways were washed away. They lit a fire in the hope it would be spotted from the air. Kim used her cell phone to film a video diary of what she thought would be the end of her life and the life of her animals. The couple kept a horse and 2 miniature horses on their property, along with several dogs and a little litter of puppies. When a hydro crew spotted the smoke from a helicopter, the help they needed miraculously arrived, and not just for the humans, the Horse Council British Columbia, or HCBC's Animal Disaster Relief Fund, was contacted. The non-profit rose to the occasion and facilitated a daring rescue of the 3 horses. After assessing the area, it was determined that the storm caused a massive highway collapse on both sides of the residences and farms. This meant the only way out for these horses was via helicopter. With the aid of a fast-acting Vancouver flight crew, HCBC was able to get rescue equipment to the area, including the Anderson sling, which is the only equipment capable of this type of large animal rescue. Volunteers were on the scene to harness the sedated horse into the sling and ensure the journey was as stress-free as possible. Thankfully, all 3 horses were flown to safety and are currently at the Siege View Rescue in Kamloops, BC. Unfortunately for the Cardinals, their home was destroyed and the insurance will not cover the loss. But at least the Cardinals, as well as their new RCMP Mountie friend and the beloved animals, made it out alive. This is Joshua Shore reporting for UConnect. That's it for me. Now send it back to you, Aiden.
Phew. It is good to hear that they were able to save all the animals. Obviously, myself, I really love animals, and I don't want to see animals being hurt. So seeing them being saved, such a blessing. Makes me have faith in humanity. So thank you so much, Joshua. For our third and final gaming news story, we have our board game of the week, which is similar to our video game of the week, but it's a board game. So I want to shine the light on a board game today. And today's board game is actually quite interesting, but a very simple format. And today's board game is Wingspan. So what is Wingspan? Well, let me just say this, that you are a bird enthusiast, and researchers, bird watchers, or I don't know how you say it, ornithologists and collectors seeking to discover and attract the best birds to your network of wildlife preserves. Each bird extends a chain of powerful combinations in one of your habitats, and these habitats focus on several key aspects of growth. You can gain food tokens via custom dice and a bird feeder dice, or lay eggs to create more birds and more life in your foundation. Basically, you want to collect the best types of birds, the most unique types, and you want to have a lot of birds. So each bird has their different points, and you know what? In the end of the day, whoever has the most diverse birds, or whoever has the highest points, obviously, wins. It's an interesting game because you are a bird enthusiast. You love birds. And even if you don't like birds or you're interested in birds, this game is quite, it has a unique gameplay style. And actually, I hope that you guys check it out, because even for me, I might need to check it out. I might give it as a gift for someone. Who knows? Anyways, though, next up we have Nebraska, and Nebraska has with us some entertainment and podcast news.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? My name is Nebraska, and I'm your host for the entertainment news. Let's get straight into our top story. And today's top story is about Andrew Garfield. So Andrew Garfield got the chance to portray Peter Parker and Spider-Man in Sony's The Amazing Spider-Man film series. While Garfield never got a chance to interact with any of the Marvel Studios' Marvel Cinematic Universe heroes, Garfield has an idea for what his version of Spider-Man would have thought of Iron Man. In a recent interview with GQ, Garfield said that he doesn't think his version of Peter Parker would have been a fan of Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. I definitely think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man would be pretty suspect of MCU Iron Man, Garfield said. I think he would be a little turned off by the access, the billionaire, the trillionaire status of Iron Man. So I mean by the richness of Tony Stark. I think it would rub my version of Spider-Man in the wrong way. Garfield went on to say that perhaps his version of Peter Parker would be able to help take Stark away from some of his more egoistic side, but maybe there would be some influence there. Maybe my Peter Parker could wake Tony Stark up to his own egoistic drives a little bit. Of course, we'll never know exactly what the two characters would say to one another, as Garfield's version of Peter Parker was eventually replaced by Tom Holland's iteration of Spider-Man. While Garfield has been heavily rumored to appear in the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home, it's likely impossible we'll ever see the chance to properly interact with Downey Jr.'s and his version of Tony Stark. This is incredible, but yeah, it was nice to see how these two characters interact. They're very different to each other, right? I would love to see this, right? So before I go to my second story, I'd like to give you guys a fact of the day. And today's fact of the day is, drum roll please. Did you guys know the heart of the blue whale, the largest animal on Earth, is 5 feet long and weighs 400 pounds? I'll repeat it. It's 5 feet long and 400 pounds. The whale in total weighs 40,000 pounds. This is big. So in comparison, a human heart weighs around 8 to 10 ounces. And compared to 400 pounds of a heart. Isn't that awesome, guys? It's just unbelievable. It's all awesome. It's a good fact. Don't you guys think about that? And okay, so now let's go to my second story. And my second story is about Burlington's annual celebration of Holiday Magic returns to Spencer Park on today. Festival of Lights will be available for viewing daily from 4 p.m. to midnight until January 8th. There will be extended hours on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and Orthodox Christmas. Now in its 26th year, it's the 26th year, and today's date is 26. Can you imagine? What a coincidence. So in its 26th year, the event brings thousands of local residents and visitors from across the region and beyond to wander through the park with family and friends to view the themed displays. Tens of thousands more take in the attraction while driving along Nature Road through the holiday season. So you can also walk and you can also drive. There's no cost for the event, and families are welcome to stroll around the park at their leisure. For more information, visit the Festival of Lights website, www.burlingtonfestivaloflights.com. So this is amazing. I've seen the pictures. It's an attraction, a lot of lights, a lot of people just coming to see the festival. It's amazing. I haven't been there, but this week or next week, it's open until January 8th, like I just said. You guys can go and check out. And even if it's far, just go. Have a long drive like I always say. Isn't that awesome, guys? So yeah, and that's all for me. As always, this is Nebraska from Youth Connect. I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Take care. Back to Eden.
Thank you so much, Nebraska. You know what? The Festival of Lights, I think, is actually coming up fairly shortly, but it is actually really...
It's actually today, Eden.
Oh, it's today? Oh.
Yeah. So you can visit today if you want. Isn't that awesome?
You know what? 100%. You know what? My favorite part of the Festival of Light is that some areas have those flying lanterns that they'll release in the sky.
Yeah.
Those are stunning. But anyways, though, next up we have our favorite musician, Jeffrey, with his live music.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to be playing Sun is Shining by Bob Marley. And you know what? It's the perfect song to bring some sunshine into this world. Sun is shining, weather is sweet. Make you wanna move your dancing feet. To the rescue, here I am. Want you to know now where I stand. Monday morning, here I am. Want you to know just if you can where I stand. Wednesday morning, tell myself a new day is rising. Yeah. Thursday evening, get on the rise, a new day's dawning. Friday morning, here I am. Saturday evening, want you to know, just want you to know just where I stand. When the morning gathers the rainbow, I want you to know I'm a rainbow too. So to the rescue, here I am. Want you to know now where I stand. No, 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 no. We lift our heads and give your praises. We lift our hands and give your praises, yeah. Sun is shining, the weather is sweet now. And make you wanna move your dancing feet now. To the rescue, here I am. Want you to know just if you can where I stand. No, 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 no. Monday morning, scoop-a-doop, scoop, scoop. Tuesday evening, scoop-a-doop, scoop, scoop. Wednesday morning, scoop-a-doop, scoop, scoop. Thursday evening, scoop-a-doop, scoop, scoop. Friday morning, scoop-a-doop, scoop, scoop. Saturday evening, scoop-a-doop, scoop, scoop. To the rescue, to the rescue, to the rescue. Oh no, to the rescue. Oh, wake up from your sleep and slumber. the lucky number. Sun is shining and the weather is sweet. 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 Thank you everybody out there for listening, and it's back to you, Aiden.
Oh my gosh, guys. Jeffrey always brings such a good song, and this song I hope brings tons of sunshine to your amazing weekend. So I'm just gonna do a quick, I just want to do a quick thank you for all of my co-hosts. Thank you so much, obviously, Jeffrey, for your music. Thank you, Kevin, for your culture. Thank you, Joshua, for the world news, and of course, or technically, thank you so much for your animal news. That's my favorite part. Thank you, Nebraska, for your entertainment news. I always want to learn about the new things that are happening, whether it be plays, whether it be movies. You never know with Nebraska. And just thank you guys so much. It's absolutely fantastic. And I hope that our watchers right now enjoyed the show. And if you did enjoy the show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the notification bell.
Other than that, guys, we will see you all next time. I hope you have an amazing weekend, guys. Anyways, goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Thanks for having us. Bye.
Thanks.